My 73rd birthday, I'm going to read to you one of my favourite passages from what I consider to be my best book, that is Love's Register. It's a story at this point told by Tate Shares, who's a professor from Tate. There is a mention of her brother Y. There is also a mention of Joe, Cass, and Mia Lavender, who are the children of Matthew Lavender, whose story starts the book. And at the end, you will hear James and Beth Lavender mentioned, and James is Matthew's brother, and Beth is the person who is dreaming this piece of writing. And it's called A Dream of Futures. At the Deep Adaptation Conference, it was 15 minutes before lights out. At 8:30 p.m. Earth Hour would begin. On the main stage, a short, raven-haired woman was mic'd up for her talk, standing in front of a curved screen, wearing a brown tunic and rope sandals. Professor Tate Shares was gazing at the audience, mouthing a greeting. With her prominent teeth and wide smile, she had the look of someone who stays young. To one side, a signer was repeating her welcome. Led by Tate, their words and gestures came in waves. Both were lit up. In the front row of the audience, Tate's brother was checking his guitar-shaped watch. Beside him, Joe, Cass, and Mia Lavender had accepted his offer and was sucking on boiled sweets. Y leaned forward to tell his guests about his sister, reading from the program. In it, her talk was described as a regenerative Oceania voyage. All four didn't look their age. When Tate began, she introduced herself as an Indigenous activist and scientist, in that order, she said. And then, as the lights dimmed, she started her talk. It went like this. I'm going to take you on a journey, a Nakia, what my people call Teho Tehere. It's a guided vision exploring what's to come and what's being lost. And to share that vision, I'd like you all to close your eyes. Tell yourself as you close them that you're happily tired, but not sleepy. You've had a busy day and it's time to rest. What you might be seeing are ghostly images or a small light show. I'll explain that later. Now the darkness is clearing and your vision, true vision, is coming back. You're awake and you've walked into a different world. There are sounds all around of people singing and running water. You're lying on a floral bedspread with the windows open in a house by the sea. Warm rain is bathing the garden. If you listen carefully, you can hear it swishing on the leaves. The air is damp, the grass is shiny, and you're smelling flowers, beautiful, creamy, richly scented flowers that open at dawn. It might be you've returned to an earlier existence, maybe to what's called Illud Tempus, when the gods were real. It's where everything's alive and charged with meaning, and that's where I'm hoping to take you tonight. You can open your eyes now, but please take care, do it slowly. Feel yourself coming back, but hold on to what you saw. Call it what you like, your third eye or dream state, but stay inside your vision. At the same time, respect the science, because there are explanations. Those lights and flashes you saw were physical phenomena, not stars or fireworks, but what's called phosphenes. They're electrical sparks coming from the retina. So come with me, into my world. It's a vast space, a wide ocean the size of a continent. We're on a long voyage from island to island, a dark crossing, a journey into emptiness. Firstly, in childhood, standing with my father on Point Venus. Here, the land's red and the beach is black volcanic sand. The view takes in Maria and beyond that, the invisible archipelagos. To sail to them can take days or weeks. A word in your ear about that voyage. The boat's cramped. You sleep sitting up. You're hot, then you're cold, and your body hurts. When the food and water run short, you start seeing things. It's like being shut into a small cell with the roof wide open. And when the seas get up, part of the boat gets broken. It's a physical state similar to breakdown, a condition or illness, sometimes called lysis, the dark night of the soul. Like vision, navigation is hard, but the star in your mind will lead you on. Now, eyes closed but open, I'd like to take you on my first navigation. It begins at dawn, guided by the stars, the colors of the sky, the wind, and the waves. Of course, there's science in that as well. But what my father taught me was that to find an island, picture its image. Keep that before you as your guiding light. Navigation begins in the heart. Both my parents taught me about culture, how we're all linked, plants, animals, humans, the ancestors, all part of the chain. They saw our world as a gift, something passed on. I can still feel them in that garden, in that warm rain. I visited often in my dreams. I want to take you now to Tahiti in the Tuamotu Islands. It's a small atoll with a central lagoon. What you see as you sail towards it is a line of trees rising out of the sea. But when you get closer, you realize that they're growing on low-lying land. The island's a raft of green with a blue eye in the middle. It looks like a paradise garden. But when you step onto the beach, you realize it's dying. Every year, the waves eat up more land. The sea turtles and triggerfish aren't seen anymore. The corals are bleaching. A few people still live there, but most have left. This is the loss I was talking about, a cast out feeling, an abandonment, an unrelenting exodus. As a people, we've been left off the map. Paris, London, Tokyo, Shanghai, New York, they're the ones winning, on top. We're on the outside, going under. Keeping them afloat is what's flooding us. Science tells us the oceans are warming. Thermal expansion, added to ice melt, raises sea levels. The salt gets into plant life and eats away glaciers. The damage is to trees, insects, animals, birds, all of us. The water's already up to our chests and touching our necks. My ancestors were navigators. In these times, we need their vision. The world is disappearing beneath our feet. We're all on Tahiti, losing our lives, our homes, our gods. So I invite you to open your eyes, see with your heart, go out, be brave, and set sail without compass to follow our guides, the birds, the sun, in a vision. Do that and find again that first time in the garden. We will find a way. As Tate stopped talking, the lights went up. When the applause began, she turned towards the signer, bowing slightly. In the front row, Y was standing with his arms in the air. Beside him, Joe, Cass, and Mia were pressing their palms together. As a group, they were silent. When the signer presented her with a bouquet, Tate began to cry. On the stroke of 8:30, the lights went out. Listening on the radio, James and Beth Lavender were silent too. Like all authors, I'd like you to take an interest in my book. My website is www. Of course, Leslie, Leslie, Tate, Tate, leslietate.com. And you can find about the book. And if you want it or like it, you can buy it there and get a signed copy. And that's cheaper and better than going on Amazon. Thank you.